Hi, it's another edition of the Leadership Dialogue podcast. I am Chikodinaka Dili, and of course, the conversation continues on the seeming gale of defection and the crisscrossing of politicians ahead of the 2027 election, the latest of which is the Delta State governor who has defected alongside the state structure in Delta State. There are also reports that about two or more governors from the opposition of People's Democratic Party may likely defect in coming days or weeks. But we don't know how true that is, but that is the biggest report in the blog as of today. And of course, we shall be dwelling into these issues and the likelihood, or perhaps what some people would say or ask, if Nigeria at the moment is drifting into a one-party state. Well, my guest today on the podcast is Mr. Fabiyi Oladimeji. He is an ardent politician, a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party, an ally of the 2023 presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar. And of course, he is first and foremost a Nigerian citizen. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much, Chika. I'm happy to be here for the first time. I think I like this. Yes, we're doing well here. Thank you very much for bringing me.
Thank you. It's good to have you here joining us. Okay, so we just go straight into the conversation. The PDP is drifting apart. The center can no longer hold. As a member of the PDP, are you scared for the future of the party?
Thank you very much. If I tell you I'm not scared, I'm only being economical with the truth. And beyond being scared, unlike a majority of the party members, were sad with what the party had become now. For some of us who had the opportunity of starting with the party in 1999, we knew how the party was run or was going to run there. That was when men were men, when the leadership of the party, the individuals, the question of leadership, think about the people. They just don't think about themselves. And I can give you instances. It was at that time where we have one man that was a very strong leader of this country, President Olusegun Obasanjo, supported by his vice, Atiku. They provided a very strong leadership. It's like a vehicle. You have what we call gears, that from gear one, it pushes you to, before you get to cruise level. And I think what Obasanjo and Atiku did there was to provide that strong leadership from the beginning, like the first gear of a vehicle to the second. Unfortunately, the party started drifting away at some point. Even though the two of them were not completely, how do I say it? They didn't get it, but you can give that to, give room for human error at some point. But they tried their best to try to provide strong leadership, strong background for the PDP, which was pushed onto when President Jonathan lost election in 2015. So it's sad. It's quite unfortunate. And now, at the level we are now, I think the PDP is responsible for zoning itself to where it is now, where they have to be strong leaders about opposition. Though PDP has never been in the opposition before. And now we still find it difficult to understand that we're in opposition and we're unable to play the role.
How long will it take the party to realize that it's an opposition party?
It's really not about how long. I think it's about, how the managers, the intent, the purpose, the sense of purpose of the managers of the party.
So the party was never built to ever stand as an opposition body.
Yeah, at that time we felt we were going to be in government for quite a long time.
16 years was a long time, wasn't it?
How old that is our democracy? We just begin to have a stable democracy now. We've never had it. It's just this republic that we're having it continuously up to this point, and it's just coming up. So it's quite sad, like I said, that PDP found itself where it is now. So more than being scared, it's really sad. It's unfortunate because PDP would have done better. Even if you find yourself in position of a opposition, what you need is to readjust. But no thanks to those who believe that, who do not follow the ideas or the principles of the founding father, that this political party is about the people, it's not about self. That is the point of departure. The leaders we had then believe is about the people. And every of their actions, every of their utterances pointed to the people. But now we have certain individuals who believe perhaps they're now in power of authority. These are the guys who were not even there when the party was formed, who do not even share the ideals of the party, who were nowhere. I can count how many of PDP governors today were part of PDP then. I can count. Seyi Makinde of Oyo was not there. Nowhere to be found. Ahmadu Fintiri was not there. Wike was not there. Bala Mohammed was not there. Was in APP. And quite a number of them, we can talk about them. So when they begin to behave like I just said, they were not there. They didn't even understand the founding principle of this party. And coupled with the fact that they see them as serve as now in the position of authority, they believe they can do whatever they like. It doesn't last though. It crashes.
Well, this would lead me to my next question. How did it strike here when the news broke that the entire PDP structure in Delta States had defected?
Chika, to be honest, it wasn't a breaking news to me.
How was it not a breaking news?
What is a breaking news?
The vice presidential candidate of your principal in 2023 elections.
Tell you why it's not.
It was also part of the tsunami.
It wasn't a breaking news. Do you know why it wasn't a breaking news? Because we saw the body languages. We were seeing some of the things, that we were experiencing a lot of towards that we have never experienced in the party before. Chika, let me take you back memory. When PDP was in government, in power, we have opposition in another party, and they have a number of governors. At that time, number one, we never saw any one of them hiding. I'm talking of the opposition governors. We never saw any one of them hiding under the PDP president to destroy their own party. Chika, what did they do? They strategically and systematically weighted plan on how to dislodge PDP. And they got it right in 2015.
How so?
So what do we have today? So none of the opposition governors hid under either Obasanjo or the short time that Yar'Adua lived or Jonathan to destroy their own party like we're having today. So I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. It wasn't like that. So it was not new. It was not new to me. It was not a breaking news. It was expected. Now, the issue of the vice presidential candidates that you said moved, there were so many things in the air, although there has been back and forth on how it happened. And I want to believe and I agree with those who are saying that the ruling party is using the power of coercion to get all of this. And PDP didn't do it that way.
Coercion in what sense?
Because I didn't do it that way. First, yes, like the case of the former governor of Delta State. He was invited by the anti-graft agency, and the news out there was that there was a kind of negotiation. You need to,
not like a political pressure.
Yeah, you need to really leave this place for food.
But it was Oshomole. It was the former governor of Edo State, Senator Oshomole, who said
the moment you joined the APC, you joined the APC. So this has nothing to do with either whether Atiku or the party. The man took the decision to take because he maybe felt in there to save his head. Maybe they showed him something that he could not controvert, and he needed to cave into that pressure. And but I tell you something. You know, when people tell me that President Tinubu is a Democrat, I tell them no. When they tell me he's a master in this and all that, in politics,
he's a jagaban,
I tell them it's not. Because if it was true, President Tinubu would not be going through this route. Let me tell you something. What destroyed First Republic was what President Tinubu is currently doing. I would explain everything to you if I have the time.
Yes, please go ahead.
What destroyed the Second Republic is exactly what President Tinubu is doing now. What destroyed PDP in this republic, what has brought PDP to where it is now is what President Tinubu is doing. And what are those things? The MPC in the First Republic controlled the entire Northern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm. They had that dichotomy between the North and the South.
MPC controlled, just like the way APC is controlled, just like the way MPN controlled at some point, and PDP controlled the majority of the states at some point. But the moment MPC got arrogant and they pushed it to Southwest, They went to get, was it Akitola? That was what brought down MPC, and that was what brought down the Republic. MPN in the same thing. The same thing happened to MPN. MPN controlled the entire North, but in the second election, they went to Bender, they removed Ambrose Ali, they came to Oyo, they removed those ones there. That was what brought MPN down. So he's not a good student of history. As far as I'm concerned, he's not a Democrat. All his actions do not show that he is truly a Democrat. Won't do all of this.
But this is also a president trying to secure his territory.
You can secure territory. So did Obasanjo coerce any governor to come into his party?
Allegedly, because we're not know he's not
strategically. No. Through electoral process, through the normal process, got those states. For instance, in my zone, Southwest, Obasanjo was able to get 5 states out of 6, excluding Lagos states. That's the story for another day. So again, when PDP at some point had 19 states, before the subsequent election, he increased about 23 or 24. Then they wanted to clear all of that opposition. That was what brought PDP down. So, and the same thing is APC towing. It means that it's going to go down. But I don't want this republic to go with it. Let APC do itself and fizzle out.
But the permutation we see is a permutation that has further strengthened the APC ahead of the 2027
this
election.
Was the way
where the case, in this case, we even see an almighty, in quotes, quote and unquote, of Kano State, the Kwankwaso, thinking over or trying to juxtapose whether or not the APC is a good place for him to. Already we have seen the senator from NNPP defects to the APC. That's a good pointer that perhaps someday we could hear the announcement.
The question we ask is that these people that are defecting, what were the reason for their defection? Is it because the third president, Bola, has performed excellently well? No.
Then what could that be?
It's self. They just want to be in power. And they don't know that their actions will never help this country democracy grow. Their actions will never, because when you don't have virile opposition, people that are supposed to stand and say, no, this cannot be, joining the fray, then there's a problem with the system. There's a problem with that country. What does Kwankwaso, for instance, want from APC government? What does he want?
Kano State is instrumental to...
What does he want? What does he want? Why can't he join all the other opposition to push this failed government of Tinubu out of power? If he truly loves Nigeria, I challenge him. If it's about Nigeria,
are you also saying that himself and so he's falling into political pressure?
I don't know until he does that, until he falls, and let's see. I've not seen it until he comes out, because a lot of them likes what they will do is to deny. And they will deny today, that tomorrow you see them moving. So that's why I say most of these things are not new to some of us who are...
In your party, as of today, there are reports that, just like we have seen with the Delta governor, 2, 3 or more governors from the People's Democratic Party are rumored, reportedly, to defect in coming weeks and days. I'll give you an instance. We saw the embattled governor of Rivers State in London in a meeting with the president. Did that send any signal to your voters?
I just told you that I'm not surprised. There's nothing all these governors, PDP governors can do that will surprise me as a person. I am not, because it's been there.
And why I ask this question is,
please,
a few weeks ago, they had this governors forum in Delta States, and where they also quashed the idea of a possible measure with other opposition political parties in order to form strong or credible opposition to fight the APC. Did you think that their decision to stop that idea or ideology was a self-motivated decision as a way of pushing out their own agenda of defection?
Let me tell you something. There are quite a number of governors in PDP today that are, let me use the word, that are fair enough. And there are some that are not even, that are even below pass mark. And a lot of these people, even in 2023, work against the party, their own party. It's a public knowledge.
Of course.
That's why I said nothing moves, nothing surprises me by their action. The decision they took in Ibadan was nothing but self. It wasn't for the people, the members of the party, or people of this country. They are major, and this is the departure between them and Atiku. Atiku came out and said, last year, I spoke to the party. I said, please, the way we are, PDP is not in good shape. PDP is fragmented. Let PDP, the biggest opposition party, rally the other opposition so that we can chase this failed government of Tinubu out of power. Which reasonable person would not support that idea? In Ibadan, why didn't the governor? They came up with all sorts of communique. In that communique, I never saw where this governor deemed it fit. They gave quite a number of instructions to Damagun. I never saw where they said, Damagun, when you go back, set up a high-power committee to look into this coalition. Let's see whether it's even going to work or not. Yes, PDP is big. We're not going to go into anything with anybody. But set up, bring David Mark, bring anybody who is big in the party to be chairman. Then they start engaging all of this. Why didn't they give that kind of instruction to Damagun or among all the instructions they gave him? But they rather went to exercise the power they don't have, setting up zoning committee, this and this committee, and all that. It's a shame. It's a shame. And that's why I always tell anybody, because I have no respect for these guys. That's why I don't go to any one of them to seek for anything. So that when times like this come, you can tell them with their face that you are messing up, guys. It's not a personal thing, but this is the way Nigerians are feeling. Members of the party are so disappointed about Chika, wait, hold on. What has Tinubu's government done to deserve a second term that all these governors are running there? It's because they saw their hands. It's because they have a lot of cockroaches in their cupboard. They are so scared. They are so scared. That is the point. A lot of them are gone to kneel down to beg Wike. A lot of them are serving to it. So they are so scared to even. These are the guys that have immunity. They are so afraid of Wike who doesn't have immunity. Does that not mean anything to you?
Are you also giving us some feelers that perhaps the PDP is utterly scared of the APC?
It's not about being scared. It's about the manager, the people we call our leaders. But listen. Their selfish interest has overridden entity that has to be that is collective, either of the party or Nigerians. This is exactly what I'm telling you. This thing is deliberate. Will you tell me they don't know? See, Chika, hold on.
However deliberate this issue might be, some people would say to you that your principle was instrumental to the formation of the...
I'm coming there. I don't want to lose what I'm about saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Ask them this question. Why are the governors, or whoever that's against the coalition against it? Why? What has Tinubu done to deserve a second term? That's number one. Number two, what is the idea behind keeping a brand that can no longer, or that has lost sight of the bigger picture, which is winning an election and giving people the dividends of democracy? What is the idea behind it? A brand that cannot do anything anymore. What is the idea behind it? See, political parties are like empires. They're like empires. They don't exist forever. Where is MPN today? Where is SDP today? Where is NRC today? Where is MP? Where is MP? Where is the Action Group today? They don't live, they don't exist forever. So what is wrong with PDP? Rebranding itself, change its identity. Let me tell you, big corporation all over the world, big establishment, organization, at some point they rebrand. Why? To have a new appeal to the customers, to make more profit, to change the dynamics, to have huge market shares. Let me give you a classical example in Nigeria. There's a beer called Star Lager. These guys only changed the shape of the bottle, and that changed everything for them. So why are these governors or anybody who's against coalition, why are they afraid?
And the convention of the PDP, the last convention it held, prior to the 2023 election, there was this perceived rebranding.
No, the rebranding then was championed by, listen, we're talking of different rebranding now. The rebranding then is different from, the rebranding was championed by the MPS, Ologun Agba, about the logo, about all those. What other What other strategic rebranding did you see? Is this same?
No, we saw some strategic rebranding because at the convention ground, the then national chairman of the party, said it openly that the PDP is now back and better. So what happened to that?
Back and better in action, in strategic action.
Obviously,
what now?
Obviously, that's what we all felt. Well, that's what
in what? And we still have to see. Chika, in what? That we still have many states in court today over the reckless Congress, the Damagun NWC-led held across the country. Benue in court, Ogun in court, so many states are in court. So what are you telling me? What rebranding are you telling me? If a party rebrands, is that what we still go to? What we still go through? We saw the reckless, irresponsible Congress they held across the country. And that's what is bringing the party to where it is. The mistake these people are making is this. They think people are with them. People are not with them. If they know what is good for them, they must do whatever they have to keep Atiku in PDP. It's not the way around Atiku should. No, they must keep Atiku. Atiku is the face of the PDP.
So you
how many of these governors,
don't say fear of the party.
Yes, how many of these governors has his strengths? How many of them can face Tinubu?
Does your principal?
How many of them have national output that Atiku has?
And that's why I'm asking this question. Your principal, do you believe your principal also garnered that support and strength that is well enough to fight the ruling of progressive? If he did, Nigerians would ask, why did we see that play out at the previous election?
Wait, the first thing you must realize is that for Atiku, it's not about himself, it's about Nigeria. And all of this thing we're talking about, it's not about Atiku Abubakar. It's not about Peter Obi. It's not about El Rufai. It's about Nigeria. So we must decide what we want. Whether you want to be same of the same. What these guys are saying is that these guys had failed Nigerians. People are attacking El Rufai that because they didn't give. It's not. It's like these guys have deviated from what we all agreed to do. Atiku left PDP against every reason and decorum because the government of the day deviated from, and because the government of the government of that time
deviated from
they did quite a number of things, which was PDP government, and he left. Now
that
he left,
yes.
So when he got to APC, why did he leave? Why did he go back from APC? Because what they agreed at that time, just like now. Exactly what happened.
And you don't consider that a problem?
Why would you say it's a problem? If somebody has passion for something, why would you say it's a problem? So now let me come.
Because it's the same crisscrossing we're talking about.
Is the only Atiku that crisscross? This Bukola Saraki crisscross? What are we talking about now?
You have also said that an AA is the face of the PDP.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He was one of the founding fathers of PDP.
So if he
and at that time he did something spectacular.
What?
He did not stay inside and fight. He fought from the outside. That is what differentiates a man from a weakling, like Wike is doing now. Wike is a coward. He shouldn't have hidden under Tinubu. He should have fought from the outside and let us see his strength. That is the remarkable difference between Atiku and all of these people, and that's why they can't stop him. The idea of coalition for Atiku is about Nigeria. It's not about himself. If coalition sit today and say, no, this is what we want to do, Atiku will gladly support them because it's about Nigeria.
Mr. Oladimeji, what will be your response to those who say, members of the PDP, who at the moment believe that the issues the PDP is facing as of today is, quote and unquote, an Atiku-induced problem?
I really don't know what they meant by that. That is an Atiku in this problem. How? This is the question. They should be able to justify it for me. Atiku was not a problem when he joined many forward-looking men to form this party, nurture it to the point that these people that are now claiming Atiku is the problem, we're not there. Atiku was not the problem then. Atiku was not the problem when he got the ticket of the party and funded his own election, an election of many National Assembly members. It was not the problem. But today Atiku is a problem because he's going against what they are doing that will not help this country, that will not help the party. No, it's the problem. So Atiku is a problem now because he's enforcing his fundamental human right under the Constitution to say you have right to contest, to associate, to freedom to do freedom. So Atiku is a problem. Please, they should come and tell me where Atiku is the problem in all of this thing. As for the last check, I'm even happy. Maybe you are still going to go there. A lot of people are talking about that zoning is the problem. Some said zoning is the problem that somebody did not honor. They should go back to history. No, how is zoning the problem?
We will get to that conversation.
I just ask you this to justify why Atiku is because Atiku now is no to some people who are in bed with APC, then is a problem. You told me a guest came here the last time.
Of course, right here in the studio.
So I know him and I know how he feels flaws. This same guy supported Atiku 2019. What went wrong? Does he even know what is going on between Atiku and Ulubi that is champion? And this is a note of warning, please, Chika, I want to say this. If truly Peter Obi and his supporters love this country, they are not supposed to be attacking anybody who is part of this coalition. If truly Peter Obi and his supporters, the likes of Kachi, if they truly love this country, if they are not myopic in their thinking, why should an articulate be attacking Peter Obi? Obedient. Why should an obedient member be attacking articulates, Buharis, Rufais, and all the rest? Why? If you really love this country. Peter Obi is having sleepless nights. Atiku is having sleepless nights. Rufai and all of them are having sleepless nights to make sure that we come together and rescue this country and redeem this country. And so, see, attacking these guys doesn't make any sense. Why should they do that? I've given instruction and I've spoken to so many who say the Atiku's supporters. Said they don't let me see you attack any obedience or Peter Obi because these guys are working for the betterment of this country.
So they share similar ideology.
Yes. So why should anybody who calls himself obedient come on air and be attacking Atiku because you don't like his face? Did Atiku force anybody not to run? As I ever said, I'm imposing myself, don't run. Don't run because of me. It's about freedom of choice, freedom of association. If you have that's what democracy offers. It's about contest. The two primaries Atiku won, it was through democratic contest. He didn't force himself over anybody. So why are you saying Atiku is the problem? They have not been able to judge, except the fact that I see it as a bad belly and myopic-mindedness. They are so petty. People who talk about that. Atiku has helped in deepening democracy. He has helped in deepening the strength of PDP. I tell you, Atiku deserves apology from all of these people because he has done so much, not for this party, for this country, but for the party.
Okay, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, the conversation continues. So stay.
At LJE Nigeria, we are committed to ensuring justice, equality, and accountability. Reporting a violation helps us to protect rights and uphold transparency. In this short guide, we'll walk you through how to report a violation on our website. Simply start by visiting our website at www.ljenigeria.org. From the homepage, locate the Report a Violation option in the main menu at the top. Once you're on the Report a Violation page, you'll be prompted to select the type of violation you are reporting. This helps us categorize your report for faster and more effective handling. Next, fill in your details. It is essential to provide accurate and clear information so that we can follow up effectively. Once you have completed the form, simply click Submit. You'll receive a confirmation message that your report has been successfully submitted. Your report will be reviewed by a dedicated team of experts and will treat all reports with the utmost confidentiality and work diligently to ensure a thorough investigation. If you have any question or need assistance during the reporting process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us through our contact page. Together, we can make a difference. Visit www.ljenigeria.org to report any violation and join us in upholding justice and accountability.
Well, it's still Leadership Dialogue podcast here on LJE Nigerian TV. I am Chiko Nakadili, like I told you earlier. And of course, my guest in the studio is Mr. Fabiyi Oladimeji. He's an ardent follower of politics in Nigeria, very compassionate about it, a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress, and an ally to the former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 election. Mr. Fabiyi, before we went on that break, you were, expressing your concerns about the perceived Atiku's Atiku problem in the PDP. Now, I'll give you this instance. The last podcast I had here with a member of the People's Democratic Party, who, of course, one of the reasons he gave for which he believes the PDP is suffering an Atiku's problem is the fact that for him and maybe a few other persons or some other people, the concern has been the perceived insistence of an Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to continue to contest for presidency. Is an AA the only person in the PDP?
So thank you very much. Number one, AA is not the only person in the PDP, and AA has never claimed, Atiku Abubakar has never claimed he's the owner of the PDP. He's a leader. And every organization is allowed to have a leader. They may not want to accept it. Atiku is the national leader of the PDP. I listened to Chief Bonijo saying it's not that. Chief Bonijo is a big a huge disappointment. He shouldn't have even gone to that level because he knows it's the truth. But all these people, they turn blind eye to the truth when they want to be mischievous. Now, Atiku is not the only one. And I just answered you. How is Atiku the problem? They have not been able to. They will just say, is a problem. How? Because he said, I'm running. He ran the first time, he got the ticket. Against all odds, against the wishes of the governor. He defeated them. Through democratic process in Port Harcourt. The current FCT minister did everything he could. Atiku defeated him in his own soil. With all the machineries and everything that he had. Through free and fair primaries, Atiku won. In 2023, the same thing. Even the current FCT minister contested against him. Atiku defeated him and defeated all of them. Against the wishes of some of these governors. So, are you telling me what makes Atiku bad or is the problem of the party is because he said he wanted to run? Did Atiku stop any of them from running? That is the question. It means that these guys are so scared of Atiku Abubakar. The fear of Atiku is the beginning of wisdom in PDP. They can't stop him. It's too big for them.
But there are some people who believe that he stopped zoning ahead of that election.
So did Atiku stop zoning now? This is the same thing we are saying. See, the PDP is a party of rules. The PDP has constitution. And the constitution established organs that manage the party. We have the NEC, we have the NWC, we have the National Convention, the father of them. We have the zonal state and all SWC and all that. Why are they there? Is to manage the party. So the party in his wisdom said, don't zone. A zoning committee was put together by the NEC, headed by the former governor of Benue State. I'm talking of 2023 now. And the zoning committee, even the emergence of Autumn was influenced by Wike. And they told that guy to leave everything open, to throw it open. They shouldn't zone to anywhere. And Atiku entered the ring. Will you tell him it's his rights, constitutional rights? Will you tell him not to? What you can do is to mobilize to defeat him if you don't like him, which they did, and Atiku still defeated them. And this is the point. So, the party took a decision that let's leave this presidency open. And that was why Atiku was able to contest. That was why Wike was able to contest. That was why Tambua, Saraki, Fayoshe, and few other southern guys contested.
And you also do not believe that was the beginning of the major crisis?
Then if it was that Atiku's problem now, Chika, let's look at it. Was that Atiku? Put yourself in Atiku's shoe. Was that problem Atiku's making? This is what I'm saying. Let us be realistic here. Because you don't like him, doesn't mean we should put the rope that is not his own on his neck. Because you are afraid of him, because you are scared of him, doesn't mean you should start giving him the color. That is not his own. This is exactly what these guys are doing. So Atiku worked with the democratic norms in the party. He didn't do anything untoward. He didn't get to the convention and say, if you don't choose me, I will kill this party. He has never done that. I can't remember. Atiku has never, for those who are saying Atiku is the problem, Atiku has never taken PDP to court for once. The only time Atiku went to court was because his rights were being improved, and it was not the party, it was the government when Obasanjo wanted to stop him from running. And today, that is why we have 21 landmark judgments from that exercise. That today no president can remove any vice except through court. Or today INEC cannot remove your name anyhow. We have to go to court. Governor cannot remove them. These are the things that this man did, and they are not seeing that, and they are now saying because his exercise right is the problem of the party. They are being honest. They are being dishonest, and they are so scared of the man. These are the facts. Let them come and engage me, and let Nigerians that have discerning mind, let them listen to us. What has Atiku done to become the problem of the party? Let's be realistic.
Aside the federal government and Nigerians in the 2027 election,
Atiku enriched our jurisprudence through his own efforts. Our political jurisprudence through his own effort. He went to court 21 times and won. And this is what has brought the PDP and our democratic experience strength today.
I don't believe he.
And they are saying that man is the problem of the PDP.
And you believe he can wield same power?
What is ruling people? People are the power. People will tell you who they want. It's the people.
Does an AA have the people as of today?
Oh, are you asking me that? Generally, you said to ask me that. So we have. You can even Felix.
So how? I'm speaking to a Nigerian. So as of the last count, you see a Peter Obi, gathering his youth on one side. You can see the APC on the other side, gaining that momentum, and of course the defections happening. There are other younger parties who are coming together to form strong opposition. And then there are so many concerns as to why an AA should run. So that's why I threw the question at you. Does AA have that popularity as of today? Do you believe he has the support base of the youth in Nigeria and the people?
He has everything.
For a new election.
He has it. If he does not have it today, why is the APC so bothered about it? Have you ever seen them attack anybody? I'm just giving you an example. Is Atiku. The whole focus of Tinubu and his people is Atiku.
Including the gale of defection?
Everything is just to whittle down Atiku. See, that is just it. Number two is the fact that even in PDP today, those who are fighting tooth and nail to want to destroy the party, so are you telling me that that person is not relevant? If he was not relevant, would they be doing all of that? Both in his own party and outside party, and they're doing all of this. So it means that's my answer to you. Then go and not judge.
But some people also believe that AA stood the better chance of winning the 2023 election. But unfortunately, the Norths did not give him full support. Will the Norths give him that support?
There were so many, let me tell you, there were so many factors that was responsible for 2020 election. All right? Apart from the anti-party activities of the so-called G5, who worked against themselves. Then Peter Obi, leaving the party to contest to go solo, did most damage to that election. Even beyond, the G5 do not even have any effect. That's why I'm looking at them. What else do you want to do? We have seen your strength now. What else do you want to do? They worked against the party.
They are still members of the party.
And they're still, is that right? And you now see Damagun, and people will tell me that, people will tell me Atiku is the problem. Atiku that has ever taken part to the court. You see a Damagun that has more than 5 cases in the court. You see Anyam that has more than 10 cases in court. And those ones are not the problem of the party. Is that what you are telling me?
Because you have also said here that Atiku is a national leader of the party. So if he is a national leader of the party, how is it that he's unable to give advice to the leadership of the party? How is it that he's unable to stand his feet down on the ground to say,
let me tell you, let me tell you a side of Atiku you don't know. Right? Atiku is a Democrat, a pure Democrat, who believes so strongly in the tenets of democracy and dictates of democracy. And why am I saying this is because Atiku is of the opinion, or he believes, that he's not the party. Just saying. We have individuals that have been mandated to manage the party. Most especially the individuals that runs the day-to-day activities of the party, which is the National Working Committee. Atiku does not believe in disturbing or interjecting in the affairs of the party. Yes, when they err, he believes he needs to talk to them. And it's not public. We will call the national chairman or the national secretary. This is what we observe. We need to change all of these things. That is leadership. We have a neck. Atiku alone does not constitute neck. There are organs that make up. So why are all these people there? Are they not there to manage the party? So why are you now trying to put the responsibility on Atiku, that Atiku should decide what they do? It's not done anywhere. Organization fails like that. So that does not mean Atiku does not talk to them. See, you people should realize one thing. Atiku is a victim of a bad system in Nigeria too. Just like Abu and I.
How?
He is now. He is. If not, Atiku would have been a president now. We know the role of the judiciary against his election. We know the role of security agencies. We know the role of INEC against election. And so many people on that section. He's a victim of the bad system like you and I are feeling today. So we must give it to him. Atiku is not the party. Many times when you go to him, he said, but we have people. NW should be able to take decision. Now let me tell you the one he did, which has to do about this coalition. Last year, he came out and said, guys, he never forced on anybody. He said, party should look at a way of forming a coalition, leading a coalition to get these people out. The next day, the party came out and said, it's not on the table. It's not something we're going to discuss. What more leadership? And you keep blaming this man. The man who meant well for the party, who meant well for the country. What does Atiku need? What does Atiku need? I've asked them, they should tell me, all these people, including Wike, what has Tinubu done to justify having a second term? Anyway, in my own opinion, I don't think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will run 2027. I don't think so.
How?
Because he too can see all the dynamics. There is the way he can see all the dynamics. So, I won't say what's that.
Isn't that clear?
I won't see.
The
2027 is still how many months away? Let's see what is going to happen. I know, he knows. Let's just wait. I don't think so. But I'm not being, I don't think so.
But
because it's not institution of the party.
A little more than 48 months.
I doubt if he's going to run. He has some good advisors that can look at it and say, oh, God, just leave it. Forget all the politics. He knows.
So the 4+4 permutation.
I am not sure. I am thinking, I'm just thinking. It's my own personal thinking that.
Based on age?
Age is not the problem for anybody. When you look at ladder of leadership, age is not there now.
No, but age is a problem when it comes to providing. It's not leadership.
How old is Trump? How old was Biden when it was this thing? Today, Palestinian is 89 years old. So what are we talking about age? As long as you know what you are doing, you surround yourself with people that can make things, that can run the show for you.
And you believe your principal can do that because he is also has a so
called. You see the Atiku well. You come and see him there. You see a sharp man, the man that surrounds himself with youth, that is trending, that understands everything that is going, good health, good everything. I thank God for his life. He doesn't pretend about anything. That's what differentiated Atiku from all of these people. He doesn't believe you need to lie to you to get your sympathy or to get your support. No, he will tell you as it is, then you can get angry, and that is it.
But with a Peter Obi on the other side, is your principle not shaken?
Has Atiku ever been shaken because of any point? See, Atiku sees this.
But the tsunami that happened in 2023 got him so some points that he just could not believe his eyes.
Saw it. How? It's an election now. You go into election, you lose some, you win some.
But never did he believe that a Peter Obi.
Atiku never underrated anybody in any contest. He has never. It's an election. Everybody cannot be with Atiku. There are some of us in Southwest that will never support Tinubu. Forget the fact that he's from Southwest. There are some people in Northeast that never supported Atiku. Even in the Southeast, there are some people that will never support Peter Obi, that don't believe in his vision, they don't believe in anything he represents. So what are we talking about now? Let's talk sense now. What are we talking about? So it's election, it's contest.
So what new ideologies would the AA camp be coming up with?
We are ready. What AA is doing now is to see how all opposition can come together. It's not Atiku's coalition, as Oputu put it. It's Nigerian coalition movement. It's not Atiku's coalition, no. Because coalition is just not about one person. It has so many components. When I say people talking about El-Rufai, I say El-Rufai is just one component of the coalition now. We have other parties that are coming. We have other strong individuals that are coming. We saw how APC did it in 2015. If Buhari has sat in his house in Kaduna. Tinubu has sat in his house in Bodilon. Atiku has, I know every other stakeholders have sat. There won't be APC today. Oh. It is this gladiator that makes the coalition work. When people see them, say, okay, this, you can see what people are saying. Even some people are taking, they are now seeing coalition, they think it's a party already. And I say, we are for coalition. They think that's the name of the party.
And you believe that will be feasible come 2027? Because I asked this question.
Visible.
The coalition. Because I asked this question because when you want to compare the coalition we had prior to 2015 election with what is being talked about at the moment, you see that is a whole different.
What is it? Please let me know what is the difference. Just tell me one difference.
Because during the APC coalition, or what the coalition that led to the formation of the APC, you saw people of like minds coming together, and the reason was because they felt that Nigeria had not achieved attained the goal it was supposed to under the administration of Goodluck Jonathan. But at the moment, even the young parties have different ideologies. The young parties do not even want to join forces.
Don't go too far. Please don't go too far. This scenario you are creating was the same scenario. I was there as an active player. It was the same thing. See, it was the gladiators that came together. And what did PDP call them? Bed of strange bedfellows, and they won. Forget all of these things now. It's politics. PDP said I said they are bed of strange bedfellows. Don't mind them. Didn't they win? Didn't they send PDP packing because they learned the act of coming together? The same way Nigeria was then, that people hated Jonathan with passion, and they were looking for an alternative. And APC was so smart. Jonathan was a southerner. They didn't bring a southerner to come and contest. They went to North and bring Buhari. And now today, is it not the same thing? We have the southerner as the president, and the question is coming. And maybe the question will now say, let's go to North and bring somebody that will defeat this guy. It's the same thing.
But given my interaction with not a few Nigerians, the yearnings of citizens of this country is to have an entirely new face who is willing to lead this country.
Give us the new face, I will follow. Let them bring the new face, I will follow now. If you tell me Atiku is not a new face, well,
but you can bring the new face.
So I don't have what it takes to do it. I don't have, apart from resources, I don't have. Nigeria is not a place because you say you are a governor of 4 years, you want to run Nigeria. Do you think that's what Nigeria is? It has somebody who knows Nigeria, and that's why Atiku stand out among all of them. It has been at that level. That's the difference. Tell me, you don't say because you're a governor, you cannot run Nigeria. I look at, they said Seyi Makinde wants to be president. I said, let him come. Let's see.
But how then?
Is this right? Let him come out and let's see.
How then with an AA run a smooth campaign?
I think this Oscar interview has not been zero to AA. Let's discuss Nigeria.
Without putting the party together, because I know it's all about Nigeria. But the party has to be strong.
If there's anything I'm going to tell you is this. I'm sure the governors are listening. They are hearing the mood of the people. All right? They must find a way. Atiku has no problem with anybody. He has no problem with any governor. That's why he has no problem with anybody who wants to move. What Atiku is interested in is that let us come together and fix this country. Beyond party.
Beyond party.
Yes, that is what Atiku is saying, and that's why he's calling his party and said, let us do this thing now. And what it takes to lead this all other opposition, because we are the biggest. So if we have governors that know what they're doing, why should any governor run away from this? But because of their personal interest and ambition, they don't know that Atiku is not about personal interest. It's about Nigeria. The coalition is something that is about Nigeria, and it's not Atiku's coalition. Let me make that abundantly clear. If it's about Atiku coalition, I will support him. Because I'm a Nigerian and I'm feeling what is going on in the country today. I ask again, what has Tinubu done to deserve a second term? This is the time I'm asking.
And what would AA do?
It's not about
what did AA do? Should he, quote and unquote, become president in 2027? What would he do, boyfriend?
When we get to the time of campaigning, we hear all of that. Or you want to start campaign now? He has already told you what he wanted to do. He has addressed all the ills of the nation. He has a policy document. He talked about restructuring. He talked about employment. He talked about citizenship. He talked about security. He talked about driving poverty away from our land. So what else? If Atiku will not be in government and you'll be having all this insecurity in the country, because he was a border man. He has manned our border as a custom officer. He knows what to do to defend our integrity. He was in custom. And what does custom do? They are the actual bodies. They are the borderline. So he knows what to do. He won't be a president and we'll be having this insecurity like this. He won't be a president and our university will still be going on strike. He told them, he said, what stop our university from getting the allocation directly? So that we'll not be having all of this problem of has to strike today, has to strike tomorrow. Because everything is riddled with corruption. So what are we talking about, guys? Here is a man that has the vision of how to run this country. And everybody keeps trying to bring him down and God keeps elevating him. When they go low, Atiku goes high. That is the difference.
Well, we must say thank you for your interaction here with us on Leadership Dialogue Podcast. It's been a fruitful discussion. And of course, we would want to have you again to further this conversation. Apparently, after the PDP must have held its next meeting, I guess.
Yes, I hope they do it. There's a whole lot of politics behind that, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt to do it. They have to go and beg Atiku. I tell you, they have to go and plead with him, seriously.
Appeal with...
They have to go and meet him and plead with him that they have heard. You are our leader. They must do that.
They have erred in what sense? Because there's the last...
Especially those of them that are working with APC.
Oh. So are you saying a Wike-led group should go apologize to...
They have to go and apologize to Atiku because they have wronged the soul of millions of party members.
So, I mean, yes, some Wike has also...
He has to go and beg and apologize to Atiku and apologize to millions of party members they are brought into I don't know what to use.
A state of ridicule?
Whether ridicule, whether helplessness, hopelessness, the parties don't know. It's not more inspiring.
And you believe it?
So they always, in this fragmented nation, always go to pick nomination form for the party.
And you feel the issues are centered around Wike?
I listen. He was one of these. It's not right, but was it not the one who is pushing them and good to do what he's doing? It's obvious. It's obvious. For reasons known to him. It's obvious. So what are we talking about? So they have to. All these guys must go and seek for forgiveness and apologize to Atiku Abubakar. Not the one that people are talking about it.
We'll have to end the conversation here. And of course, it's an ongoing conversation. I do hope that you join us on our YouTube channel to, engage on this conversation. The handle still remains at LJE Nigeria. We are also on Facebook and Instagram at LJE Nigeria. Do subscribe and join the conversation. We're speaking with Mr. Fabiyi Oladimeji, a politician and, ardent Nigerian citizen, passionate about the growth of Nigeria.
That's not to support was they want to mess it up. We know how.
That's a Spartan shot. But I'm Chikodinaka Dili. I would love to have you again join this conversation in our next episode. Do stay. Bye.